Nice.
You mentioned the video placements. I'm going to mention a few videos. Take us back to some of your best memories. What was going on that day? What songs? Just some of your overall best memories of some of these placements. Heavy D.
Oh man, Heavy D was amazing, man. Like I remember going to that audition, and it was actually right next to Studio 54. There was like a dance studio right next to Studio 54 on 54th Street between Broadway and 8th Avenue. I don't know how we probably there's a dancer named Donovan that got to give a shout out to, because he was on the scene. Like he was like kind of like the guy when it came to recruiting dancers for videos. Like a lot of video companies and record companies looked to him to get dancers, and he would reach out to me.
Wasn't that the Rosie Perez? Did she help you get the one of the auditions?
Well, she was the choreographer for. She was the choreographer.
Okay.
For the Heavy D video, We Got Our Own Thing.
Right.
So when I get there, you know, she's there at the table with Trouble T. Roy and the boys and G Wiz. Wow. And you know what I mean? There's them three, and we, you know, there's like, you know, we're all auditioning, and boom, we did our thing, and then, you know, we go outside in the hallway and wait, and then they're like, "Yo, they said they want you back." Like they asked me personally to come back, and I was like, they were like, "Yo, do that dance move that you was doing, like again, one more time." You know, I was like, "All right, boom, I did it. Cool." You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I remember when I was dancing for the audition, I remember I seen Stretch and a couple of heads start to walk in. That's the first time I actually seen them, like, you know, like outside of like, you know, being a fan of theirs, coming in. Like I'm like, oh shit, like this is getting serious. You know, especially with the, you know, just trying to get in, I'm trying to get on. And yeah, so we long story short, we got on. You know, we did the video, and it was me, iTruth, that got picked from SOS. It was Donovan was one of the dancers, and then it was Mop Tops, which was Khalif, Henry, Link, and Khalif's brother Ramir. Stretch wasn't in that in this video for some reason. I think he had another project he was working on. I think he was working with the girls, if I'm not mistaken. The group, the girls.
Right.
You guys remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had us. The only thing is that they had us wear these like masks, like these costumes. You know what I mean? So we wasn't getting no like facial recognition. You know.
Right.
So a lot of people didn't know it was us unless, you know, we told them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, you know, we was getting busy. That was our first introduction, working with Khalif and Mop Tops, and you know, we was cool ever since. And Heavy D. Oh, another amazing story from that day was G Wiz. Oh no, not G Wiz. Trouble T. Roy comes upstage. He's mad cool, and he's just like, you know, we started kicking it. We just talking. He's like, "Yo, come downstairs." You know what I'm saying? And I went to their dressing room, and I got their barber was in there, you know, giving cuts out. And he gave me a haircut. Like their barber gave me a fresh haircut right there on the spot, just because he looked out for me. He's like, "Yo, like look out for him, get him a haircut." I was like, "Oh man, this dude's." He had the fresh joint. It was the same guy, the same barber who cut Albie Shore's hair, Heavy, because he had this thing where he had this like the hairline. He would bring it up a little bit. It was like if you look at Albie Shore's first album cover, you'll see what I mean. Like you'll see that shape up that he gave him. So I thought that was like, you know, was the coolest thing, man. And you know, meeting Rosie Perez, being friends with her, you know, just from that one video, you know, it was just like that was an amazing experience. And there's actually a picture of that in Ernie's book. Ernie has the photographer. Yes.
Yeah.
He has a book called Who Shot You?
Yeah.
And he has a Heavy D in there, and we're all around him with the mask on, like, you know, saying with these noses, like I don't know, they had us looking like parrots or something. Like they had us in these blazers. They had us like with like catcher's gear on.
Yeah.
And these things were like fly. We were dancing. My nose was like coming off. So I was like trying to hold it, you know.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
yeah, it was cool, man. It was a great experience.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah.
who exactly? I mean, I always knew SOS to have 3 members. Was it
hmm
more than just the 3 at one time?
hmm there was about 6 total throughout the years. It
Okay.
was me, I Truth, Tim, my boy Rob, rest in peace, um, Kayla Funk, and Darius. You know, we would all rock out. You know, when we first started, it was just it was 4 of us. It was me, Tim, I Truth, and Rob. Um, he kind of like he was in and out of the group here and there, but when you saw go to the clubs, he got kind of caught up in the street stuff. So that's why you know, and then the other members just kind of did their own thing, and we were the 3 that kind of was always the that stuck together, was always doing things together. So that's when
Okay.
you know.
I got a couple more videos that I'm interested in
Oh yeah.
hearing. I'm currently managing King's Son at the moment.
Oh man, that was like one of my first joints.
Yeah, take us back to King's Son back in the days.
Yeah, King Sun on the club tip. Uh, filmed at Boat Basin on 79th Street in the West Side Highway. There was a lot of videos filmed there back in the days. It was you know, again, Donovan. It was me, Donovan, I Truth, and man, there's another brother that I forgot his name, and Randy. And Randy went on to like choreograph Salt and Pepper, like you know. It was us 4, you know, just getting busy. There was other dancers as well, but we were the 4 that had the routine that we, you know, we were doing our thing. It was just a great time, you know. I was just in, you know, I was there, and I think that was the first video that I ever saw myself in. That I was just like, oh shit, like you know, video music box came on. I was like, I caught it like a little quick solo, like a glimpse. I was like, I caught the bug, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it was a great time.
EPMD.
EPMD, you overdid it, Holmes. You had too much to drink,
Uh,
you know, which it's not one of my favorite songs.
nah. Even K Solo dissed it last year when I interviewed him. So
Get out of
he,
here. Yeah,
he
that was
said, you
crazy.
know, that was their attempt to kind of cross over.
Yeah, it didn't work, man. That was bad. But they had everybody there. Like Fendi, you know, Fendi was there. IBM dancers were there. My man Tone. There was a bunch of dancers there. You know what I mean? And I don't know what we was doing. Like that beat is just not like something to dance to.
You was out of all songs,
Right,
you
exactly.
know.
But it's funny because they had me and a couple other people spinning the guy. There was a bed, and the guy was drunk, like you know, supposed to be drunk on the bed. We were like just running around spinning him. You know what I mean? And they're filming. We're just running around spinning him. Yeah, that's crazy. But you
Oh
know,
man.
quick sidebar that you mentioned K Solo, uh, because we met up with Solo, and we were gonna dance for Solo at one point.
Oh yeah,
Me
like his
and yeah,
dances.
yeah. Me and I
Really?
Truth went out to Central Islip and met up with him. You know what I'm saying? I think we spent like 2 days over there, out there, and you know, we were kicking it. We were supposed to get on, and you know, it didn't work. You know, I guess it didn't work out. You know, we were looking forward to it, like, yo, we're gonna get on, and it didn't happen. But then, you know, the brand Nubian thing happened later, and then I ran into him. And he's like, "I'll see y'all." I was like,
Hey, you lost out.
"Yeah, exactly, man." But you know,
Yeah,
K Solo is dope.
one more video before we move on. Public Enemy.
911's a joke.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We wasn't doing much dancing. We were more just background in the church scene. When he was coming in the church and he was like laying in the church and he pops
Yeah.
out and we were all like, you know, sitting, you know, there's like pictures of the crowd, like we're all sitting down. So that was a great video. Like again, like that was like a more just, you know, extra work than dancing.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys ended up getting with Brand Nubian. Is that your last group? And how did you guys end up being dancers for them moving on? and not appearing. Did you appear in any more videos after Brand Nubian, or were you strictly their dancers at this
Well, we
time?
were strictly their dancers when we were like got with them. I Truth knew. I think I Truth knew Sadat's cousin, I believe, and we were actually the girls that were in the Feel So Good video. Those were girls that I Truth knew, and that they used to go to Norman Thomas with him, and they were like the girl version of SOS. Like I Truth had routines with them. They were in the Feel So Good video. They invited us to come up to the video. And at that time, it's funny because we were already doing all these videos, and after a while, it was just like, especially when you're not getting paid, like, we're doing it for the spotlight, for the little bit of fame to get on Video Music Box. All that stuff started to wear out a little bit. It was just like, so when they were like brand new, we were like, who? Like, you know what I'm saying? We were like, where's this video film? Like, it was just kind of a mission to get up there. We were just at that point, we were like, we decided not to go for some reason. Fast forward, I guess they were working on their premiere album, and Sadat and Jamal were looking for dancers, and I guess they told them about us, and they came down to the PAL in Midtown on 52nd Street, right off I think between 10th and 11th Ave, and that's where we used to practice. They came down to check us out. You know what I'm saying? It was just Jamal and Sadat. They were having a show, and we got busy. They were like, all right, boom, we're having a show, blah blah blah. The show was Quando's. I think the venue was called the Car Wash, but the venue was called Quando's, but the party was called Car Wash.
Okay.
There was a lot of people on the bill, and it was one of the parties that we used to go to as well. That was just like that was like 1990, and it really started to pop. Like that's where KRS-One recorded his live album worldwide. He has a section of it, the beginning section. He was live at Quando's.
Right.
Well, not that night. It was a separate night, but then we met Pooba there the day of the show, and he didn't even know that they got dancing. He was like, "Yo, what?" Like, he told me that later on. He was like, "I didn't even know y'all had they had dances."
Right.
So we got busy. We did that first show at Quando's. Then it was just like the next show. The very next show was the Hard to the Left. With the Kilimanjaros.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
That was the next one after that.
that was the second show. Like, if you look at that
Oh,
footage,
wow.
sometimes you see it, you don't see us dance. Sometimes we were just chilling because
I
we
was
didn't
there.
have routines for a lot of stuff yet. Like we're just literally, we had like maybe like 2 or 3 routines to 3 songs, but they had like
Okay.
6 songs. They were doing new songs like
That
that didn't
makes
even make
sense
the
now.
See sometimes you just see us freestyling, taking turns. So yeah, man, and then from there, everything kind of took off. The album was released, and we just started rocking with them strictly.
Yeah,
We
so that
started
was
to,
early on, man. I didn't. Yeah, I mean, looking back at it now, because like I said, I was at that show. But man, yeah, I didn't realize that was
that was
super early.
December. That was December 4th, I believe. No, the album came out December 4th, right? I believe. Yeah.
I don't know.
Brand Nubian album came out December 4th, 1990. So it had to be a little bit before that. Like I think it probably in November of 1990 that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
And we started like, strictly rocking with them. The first video, Wake Up, were featured in that video. Pretty much all the videos except for Slow Down on the first album. Which
you guys had a dope routine for that though.
Yeah, that was one of our best routines.
Yeah.
And it was just a miscommunication, I believe, with with the people. We like to find out that they didn't have no scenes for us. We were like, what?
What
Like,
the fuck? Yeah, that's
you ain't
crazy.
gonna, this is. But good thing is that we did perform it live at places. So like Party Machine, with Naya Peoples.
Okay.
You know, there's footage of the routine, like other live performances. So
Well, let me tell you something though. That's the best routine, man. Because to this day, whenever you hear that, well, I mean, at least I know for myself, whenever I hear that song and there's certain parts that come on, I can't help but to like
yeah, yeah,
do
yeah,
those
yeah.
steps, you know, because it just goes right along with the lyrics. You know what I mean?
That's true, man. Because and I feel like we were
One
early on
spot
that
on
too.
to the next spot on to the next. You know, like
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like we were
yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah.
like, and I think we were kind of the one of the dance crews I feel that was doing that early because you know we were you know when a rapper rhymes, he's rapping to the beat. You know what I'm saying? It's not singing where you know people like you know you can't dance to words like that. You can, but it's a different kind of style. But hip hop is on beat, like you know what I mean.
Right,
The
right.
flow, so you could actually flow to someone just rhyming. You know what I mean? Like you know their style, and they're doing it to the
Mhm.
beat. So it's like you know it matches.
Right, right, right. That's probably why you guys were so dope, man, because everything flowed so well together with them.
Right, and then you know, then you know the group went different directions, and you know that's when we moved on with Puba for his solo
Yeah.
album.
So let me ask you, because it's interesting that you said that Sadat and Jamal, the ones that came and got you.
Hmm.
When they separated, how come you ended up going with Puba?
Yeah, it was we wound up going with him. I think because there was a lot of friction. There was a lot of friction in the group. Uh, even though that they put us on, when Puba was there, we kind of gravitated more towards Puba. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like we would, you know, he was the oldest. You know what I mean? So he was kind of more like he already he's kind of like been there, done that. Where it's us, it's like our first time on the road. It's Jamal and Sadat's first time on the road. You know, everybody's just you know the tour life, and I don't know. I think that some of the friction that they had internally with the group, we kind of sided with Puba on certain things. You know what I mean? And we felt like you know this is the best place for us just on a relationship level on how you know how he treated us.
Gotcha.
You know what
Okay.
I mean? Like I felt like the way he treated us was more like brother status. Like you know, you know that's our older brother. He's looking out for us. And I felt sometimes on the other side, you know, it was like I'm the rapper, you're the dancer. You know what I mean? Like it was
Hmm.
weird.
I got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, man, much love. I mean, even Alamo went with Puba
Alamo.
as
Yeah.
well,
Right. Right. Right.
and so that's childhood friend.
Yeah.
You know what I
True.
mean?
True.
So that's
That's
why you
true.
hear him say at the end of One for All, the video version, he adds in that thing. So Alamo, tell me what you're gonna do, because it's one for all. You know what I'm saying? He's asking him like, "Yo, what
Gotcha.
you gonna
Right.
do?"
Right.
And we go because yo, even on that video, which is one of my at least I felt like that made up for the slow down because you know that's one of my favorite Brand Nubian songs, and that I felt that routine was dope as well. You know that video featured us, you know, in a correct way. You know what I'm saying? We were like, all right, boom, you know, we're in this, we're displaying
Right. Right. Right.
our
Right.
skills. They weren't really rock. They were barely rocking with each other at that time. They were already separated pretty much. They were just doing the video to do the video. They weren't even speaking to each other.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, kind of, sticking with the Brand Nubian and everything, is when you guys first linked up with Brand Nubian, were you guys already into studying the 5%, or down with the 5% Nation, or was that once you got
That kind
together
of
with them?
that kind of came from it started with them. I mean, the first video was Wake Up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're in the law school in Mecca. That's where they have us as they have a certain room for us in what do you call it, a changing room
Hmm.
for us. And which you know what I'm saying? Like we're just coming as dancers to do a video. We're in the law school of Mecca, like in it. Like they got a room for us
Inside.
inside. You know what I
That's
mean?
crazy.
And it just, you know, I wasn't even thinking about it too much. You know what I mean? I was there for to do, you know, to do this dance routine. And it's funny because one of the older one of the older guys is like, "Oh, well, you danced your way into the nation. He was like, I ain't never heard of that one. I was like, you know what I mean? So, but that's where it started. And then, obviously, you know, we're listening to the album, just like, I was already inspired from earlier from Rakim and, certain lyrics, but that would just moved us closer to it. And then, Jamal would build with us. They were all build with us. Jamal's brother Wise was really, instrumental early and like really like, giving us the math. And then Jamal was, would build with us as well. But then once that kind of was separated, we kind of just, we we actually later on found another brother who took us down to get us actually, get
Like,
taught,
right, right.
start over. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
start from the foundation and like start from scratch.
Okay. So how cool was it when you guys, you know, you guys were label mates with KMD and everything, and when they got together, and were recording together and stuff like that, and touring or doing shows. Um, how was that for you guys initially, being that they were at that time in particular studying, more of Ansars, then you had the 5%. You know,
Uh,
I mean, I know they got along, but just
right.
how was that whole thing for you?
It was cool. I mean, it showed like another like part of you know knowledge itself. You know what I'm saying? Like from a different angle that how they were getting it. Um, like and like I said, they were like brothers. You know what I mean? All of them were so tight. Like they all grew up together. So we're on the bus. Cats is like laying on each other, sleeping, falling.
Yeah,
What's that? Diego sleeping up in the thing where you put your luggage and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, he was so small. He was up there chilling. Like I saw like a little bed.
Oh, shit.
It was great, man. I think they just showed us another form of how people, form a bond. And it's funny because we used to be bugging out. Sometimes we ran in Onyx room, like joking around, and he'd be praying. I'd be like, oh snap, like you know what I'm saying? Like he'd be mad at us, like yo.
Oh, shit.
But it was it was one and the same. You know what I mean? There was a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
common things that we shared. And it was an amazing experience, man. Like leaders of the new school were also on that tour
yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
and yeah, and we were opening up. We were the opening for De La Soul for
Mm.
De La Soul's Dead tour.
Wow, how was that?
Amazing, man. We did a West Coast tour and an East Coast tour, and we just they had their own bus. They all had their like they would they paid their dues already, so they had the nice the nice bus. While we were still like kind of like on the Greyhound, like what I'm saying, like following them from state to state. But it was cool, man. It was a great experience, man. Some of the best memories I had.
Nice.
You also found yourself on several high-profile shows such as Yo MTV Raps and Soul Train. Can you take us back to some of your best memories? Let's say starting with Soul Train.
Yeah, man. Soul Train was like we were fans already, so the fact that we were going on there was just like you know an amazing experience. And Don Cornelius was still hosting the show at the time. Um, you know, um, Soul Train line was popping. We were, but it was already. We were like trying to get in. We were like, yo, we want to get in the Soul Train line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like once we were off stage, but I think they already had it like set up the way, so we wasn't able to do it. But like that was something we wanted to do. Just being in California, going out there for that show was great. Meeting Don Cornelius, being part of a legendary show that, like being part of that legacy. Uh, you know, being all the performers that performed on there before me, from James Brown, Al Green, these people that I looked up to, and for me to be on that stage and that platform, it's just like, I felt very good about that.
What about Arsenio Hall?
Another one, man, because that was that even though that show made its own mark, you know what I mean? Like from the '90s, that or late '80s, he's the one that kind of helped put hip hop on the map, as far as help spread you know, some of the artists that was on his show, and that was great. You know what's so crazy is that that footage does not exist anywhere on YouTube. Like I'm
Nah.
trying to find that footage. I had it on VCR back in the days. That's one of our best performances.
I think we talked about that at one point. If I could find it or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, man, that'd be amazing because
Yeah,
I've been looking for a long time.
still on the hunt.
Yeah, man, it's a great one, man. And even I remember it. And they caught a nice angles on us dancing and certain things we did with that, you know, as far as dancing that we want people to see, and they caught some of that footage.
Yo MTV Raps.
Yo Interview Raps, another one, man. You know, got to be up there with, you know, got to come on with Pooba and rest in peace, Doogie. You know, we came out there with you know, with the part of the interview. You know, chilling. That's the thing. That's what I mean. Like with Pooba, like we were part of the group. You know what I'm saying? It was just like all of us are coming in. Like, you know what I mean? We're not just gonna come out for the performance part. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna be there with interview. You know, so you know, it was great, man. Ed Lover. You know, they're all there, man. It's all. I still look at it and like, you know, I'm like, wow. But at the moment, like we were just doing it. You know what I mean? I'm not
Right.
gonna sit here, and, you know, act like, you know, we were just in the mix. You know, you don't realize how much, you know, you're in a special thing until kind of like a little after.
Right.